So there's this new name flying around with posts from celebrities showing off gift packs of different gadgets and accessories. I'm talking about POOLEE. So I was able to get my hands on some of these power banks, and anything off grid or alternative power is kind of a specialty. What drew my attention was one particular feature I saw on the pack, which is the overcurrent protection. And to find out if they have finally solved the very annoying power bank swelling problem, I'm going to be testing this product for design flaws, failures, protection systems, and we would also be destroying these units to see if what's inside is what they say it is. And if we finally have a power bank that won't swell. Subscribe and let's dive in. So this is the POOLEE PD20, a 20,000 mAh power bank. That means it houses a battery with a current capacity of 20 amp. We believe it's lithium-ion polymer battery, which is usually around 3.7 volts in nominal state of charge. Using our electrical power formula, which is P equal to IV, where P is power, I is current, and V is voltage, that gives us a total battery capacity of 74 watts. That's around 0.074 kilowatt. That means you would have to put like 13.5 of these power banks together to get the same power storage you would get from an ITEL power tank or a Kohler 1000 Pro or Plus. There's also this number rating written on the surface, 22.5 watt, which I believe have become a source of confusion for many people. And I've also noticed the same rating on other power banks as well. So let's break that number down ASAP. So this is definitely not the battery capacity, as we've already calculated that to be 74 watt. This is the maximum discharge capacity in 1 hour. In other words, this power bank is designed to discharge from the 74 watt battery within the limits of 22.5 watts per hour. So this is like a 74 watt tank with a tap that can discharge 22.5 watts per hour, leading to a maximum discharge time of 3 hours plus and a discharge rate of 30.4% per hour, which is within the 25% to 30% discharge rate that we normally recommend for lithium batteries. That means you get to enjoy the full lifespan of the battery with minimum heating while charging or discharging. I noticed some comments on our post about this number being too small, but anything beyond this for a 74 watt battery is actually a design flaw. More about the discharge rate of 22.5 watts later. If you're charging the power bank from the micro USB, it can charge at 5 volts at 2 amp, which is 10 watts, or 9 volts at 2 amp, which is 18 watts, or 12 volts at 1.5 amp, which is 18 watts also. That will take around 4 hours to get a full charge from a 9 to 12 volt charger, and up to 7 hours for a 5 volt charger via micro USB. The Type-C input, however, can take up to 15 watt charging rate from a 5 volt charger, which brings charging time down to around 5 hours on a Type-C. I've been able to charge this power bank with both my MacBook laptop charger and my HP Elite X2 tablet PC charger. They both discharge pretty fast without any negative impact on the power bank. There's this special green icon that comes up anytime that you are fast charging or discharging the power bank faster than usual. I love the looks. It's very presentable and premium looking. That's for the 20,000 mAh model. Well, that's until you start seeing scratches on the body. This power bank easily dents, so it's advisable not to place it on rough surfaces or a pocket with keys, because mine was less than a month and it already had scratches. Let's get a bit more practical. I started charging this device by 6:39 and got 100% by 8:16. That's around 2 hours 13 minutes of charging time on Type-C. It turns out the 22.5 watt also applies to the Type-C USB output for charging laptops as a power dock. To test it out on both MacBook and my HP Elite X2 tablet PC.
Do you know that you don't need a huge budget to power your business and replace your generator? With less than 1 million naira, you can have a 2 kilowatt lithium-based backup system. And with less than 1.5 million, you can have over 1,200 watts of solar power on your roof with a 2 kilowatt lithium battery system that can power your business all through the day. No fuel expenses, no oil change. Contact Hardware House Limited today to get a design. Tell us your energy needs and budget. Bye.
Okay guys, so I have two beasts of a machine here, and I would like to know if this, or I would like to know if the POOLEE can power them. One of them is a X2 G2 tablet from HP Elite. This is the one we use for editing and some of the major work that we do at the studio. We also use it to design some of our solar installation setups. It's a really powerful tablet. And then we have a MacBook also. Now these are both Type-C devices, and from what we see here, there is a 22.5 watt output PD, which might, of course, PD means power dock, so it might be able to charge this laptop. That probability is there. We'd also need to find out. That's why this is orange. That is PD. So let's try it out. First is the Elite G2 from HP. It's a super tablet. Now, in order to do this, I'm gonna be using my Type-C to Type-C cord, and this is not a normal Type-C to Type-C cord. This is original Apple Type-C to Type-C cord. It's capable of carrying a very high amount of current with very minimal losses, and yeah, that's what we're going to be using for this. So let's see if the power bank will be able to detect that it's not a mobile device, and if it will be able to discharge the appropriate amount of voltage. If it does this, it means it has a DC to DC buck converter probably inbuilt that can enable it convert the 4.7 volts from the battery rather than to 5 volts now to detect a different system and convert it to the appropriate voltage, probably 18 volts, 12 volts, whatever. So let's see how it goes with the HP Elite tablet. So I'm gonna face this up here, so we can see this is the charging port Type-C, and that of the power bank is in Type-C as well. So let's see what happens. So you see that flash of white and yellow, it tells you no, this particular Type-C input cannot charge me. And if you look at the power bank as well, there is an indication here. See that green icon? That is fast discharge icon. It's telling you that okay, it's detecting a different kind of draw that is not what a mobile phone would have, and it's blinking. That is telling you there's something wrong. It's not appropriate, even though there is a capacity here, and I am able to detect that this is a different system. However, the voltage is not enough to power it, so it's blinking here, and it was blinking here. Oh yeah, it's blinking here, and then it will go off. That tells you the voltage is not enough. So the PD here cannot charge a laptop for Windows. So let's check for MacBook. This right here is my video editing workhorse. Unplug, plug. This is crazy. This is amazing. So this power bank is charging my MacBook laptop via the PD. It was able to charge my MacBook, but the Type-C on my HP seems like a fake glorified laptop charging system. Because I tried the same thing on the itel PowerGo, and it didn't charge the HP tablet, but it charged my MacBook very well. So I had the exact same result with this power bank. The power bank can charge the MacBook, or it can't charge the HP. Now let's measure. There are certain parameters that are responsible for power banks swelling and damaging the housing. Modern power banks are made of lithium-ion polymer batteries. These are very fragile batteries and are very sensitive to overcharge and also overheating, both of which occur due to lack of proper protection circuits within the product. So if there is a design flaw, the swelling will definitely occur at some point. So first is for overcurrent protection. Now, I don't know where the overcurrent protection is, if it is in the output or in the input, but I believe it should be in the output. Overcurrent protection should also protect against short circuits, because it also serves kind of like a short circuit protection. Whenever there is short circuit, there is a high resistance of current, so there is a surge of load on the system. So I want to know if this can be able to survive a short circuit. This, by the way, this could render this power bank useless, but if it passes this test, then this could be the great challenger for Oraimo. We have here on the output the positive and the negative. I have them on the probes of my multimeter over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jam this positive and negative together. That is going to cause the electrons to clash. It will face a very high resistance, and all that surge is going to be sent inside the circuit in the power bank. Now, if this power bank is smart enough, if it truly has an overcurrent protection, it's going to sense that surge of load. There's going to be sudden heating of the wires due to that increase in resistance, and the power bank is going to shut down for some minutes. Now, I tested it on this tablet, and what this tablet does is to shut down completely if you short circuit the output over here. Okay, let me adjust that. If you short circuit the USB output over here, the tablet shuts down. It's going to blink yellow like 3 times here, and then to shut down, you won't be able to turn it on again. If you try to turn it on, to just blink yellow like 3 times. You have to leave it for like I think around 5 minutes. That would allow the capacitor to drain and the memory to reset, and then you have to press and hold for a long period of time to completely drain the capacitor as well, and then the system would just bounce back to life. That is what a protection does. Also notice if there is a spark here, it's an indication of having direct contact to the battery without a protection. But as you can see, if that was the case, like what we've seen in some of those power stations, if that was the case, that means there is no protection, and the overcurrent protection on this is not functional. Keep your eyes here, and let me turn on the display so we would know if the system shuts down. Okay, so protection or no protection. Let's go. Did you see what happened here? Okay, as the load surged, instead of this to drop, it increased. That means the circuit here noticed that there was a load. Just like when you connect your phone, it's kind of a resistance. That's how it knows there is a load, and then it sends the full voltage. It did something similar here right now. The voltage went up to 5 because there was an indication of load. There was no drop in voltage. Oh, there was a drop in voltage now. Yep, there was a drop in voltage. Let's do it again. Oh, there was a drop in voltage, but the battery level was not affected. It's still the same. So here's something about short circuiting a system. When you short circuit, you're sending the maximum load possible to a power source, and that can create a very big problem because of current and resistance. The conductivity itself is now a measure of resistance, and what that means is that the 2 wires, however conductive they are, now clashing with each other, and that conductivity is now functioning like resistance, and that's all that load and all that surge would be felt on the battery. But surprisingly, the battery is still 78%. Even 1 second of short circuition can drop down the percentage of a battery immediately. The next thing would be testing is for overcharge protection. This is one of the major causes of battery swell. It's a destructive test, so we had to break this unit open. This is an extremely durable power bank, as it took a whole lot of effort just to break it open. Every lithium-ion battery of this chemistry has a maximum voltage of 4.2 volts at 100% state of charge. So a good design would not let in any voltage beyond this to get to the battery, or that would cause a swelling and a permanent damage to the battery accompanied by a drop in the battery's capacity. I've placed the probes at the direct terminal of the battery to know exactly what goes in, and at 100% state of charge we have about 4.15 volts, which means this design is giving the battery an allowance of 0.05 volts. So we're now going to plug in our charger, which in this case is a HP charger for Type-C laptops. That immediately activates the fast charge icon, and I think it would be great to see how this design handles all that power coming from the charger while protecting the battery within the limits of 4.2 volts. Amazingly, despite the 3 amp of 5 volts coming from the 45 watt HP PC charger, The module is still able to cap it within 4.19 and 4.2 volts. That confirms the overcharge protection on this power bank, and the circuit design is top notch. However, all that power has to go somewhere, as energy cannot be created or destroyed, but has to be converted to another form of energy, which in this case would be heat. So if you're using your PC or MacBook charger on this power bank, it would be advisable to keep the product in a cool environment and to unplug when it's full, just to avoid heating up the module. But however, we did check for overcurrent and short circuit protection, all of which were top notch. I don't know about the other models, but this PD20 we have tested has performed excellently, and we would recommend it. So if you want one, just chat or call Hardware House Limited via the number on the screen. Solar generators of any size, full scale solar installation projects, we've got you covered. I'm Justin. Bye bye.